Alright, so before I do the interior walk around, then this is the exterior. Have the camera on a gimbal, but the ground is pretty slick, so doing the best I can. That sticker can come off pretty easy, but it's on there. And there's a little mess up on the paint down on the black part of the bumper you can see there. The paint on the rest is very solid. There's all the windows and everything. It has all the blackout curtains, which are really good for heat or cold, keeping it in or keeping it out. I use those a lot when I was traveling. So those are typically closed, but it looks better with them open. And here's the front. So after this, I'll walk in and do the startup and then walk around outside again. I really like the doors it has, so you can open up like that to get in. Walk in. There's the couch and bed and all that. But now we're gonna start it up. So I'll probably have to adjust some settings. Getting down here, I wanna make sure I get that. So, change in focus. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so you're gonna put the key in and give it about a half turn. Gonna see all the lights come on and then turn off. And then down that little orange box in the corner is the wait to start. It's gonna blink a few times. You wanna wait for it to completely shut off. And you're hearing a little sound from that. This is normal, I believe it's around 40 out, so you will get this sometimes. Now that it's off, you're gonna turn it all the way to start. And starts just fine. So I'll step out and I'm gonna give a better tour of it while it's running. All right, so now I'm outside the bus as it's running. Lights are on. Those top lights are on. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. One thing to know is, well, at first starts, it's gonna be a little loud, but obviously as it warms up, like diesels take a while to, it'll sound better. This was my first diesel, so I certainly didn't know that. Going around. All the signals work. Should be seeing the lights up there. There's that paint spot again. And there's the side. Now I'm gonna pop the hood and show you the inside of it while it's running. Alright. Now it's down. There is the engine bay. There's your coolant. I'll turn on autofocus. Very, very little rust in there. Very clean on the sides, not leaking oil or anything. And on the sides again, no rust. There you go. One thing about this bus to know too is that it has two batteries. There's the one there, and then I'll have to take it off and go handheld. But under here, there's a second battery, so you kind of have a backup. It is also equipped with a block heater that plugs in right up front, down under the GMC. I've never had to use it, but there are plugs for it. So if you're in like below 0-degree weather and you can't start the engine, you can plug in a block heater, which is an awesome feature to have. So I'm gonna shut this off and then I'll take you inside for a better tour of the interior. So I've just set off the bus. Now I'm going to go into the back and plug in the inverter, turn it on. Even though it's a pretty cloudy day, we should be able to get good solar. So, going back here. One awesome thing I like about this door is you open it up. If you open it all the way, there's a latch at the top. Heard it click, and then now that door is gonna stay just like that. I have a tarp and some cleaning things in there that I used when I was cleaning it. Those will obviously not be here, but you have a lot of space in there. And then there is your inverter. I'm gonna raise the light in there. Hoping this will do it. There it goes. All right, then I'll set this down and I'll show you the screen here. That's right there. I don't see the second, that's the first surge protector. The second is right up here. Typically they're both plugged in, but with all the cleaning I've disconnected a few things. So I'll slide this again. I would recommend these just remain plugged in. Then when that's done, you just turn the switch on here. It flashes. You gotta wait for it to turn up. The AC just kicked on, you heard. We will not be needing that today. So now that that's done, if you come out here and you close the door, which to close it after it's locked like this, you just push again and it unlocks. When the AC is on, you'll see a nice breeze through here, which I've put double mosquito netting on and some spray foam insulation. You can put a cover in there during the winter if it gets too cold, but this netting runs directly into the AC, and I've honestly never had to turn on a heater inside the bus other than a very small electric one. So now I'm gonna plug in the heater as it is a cold day, and I'll show you how that all works. All right, so now we're in the bus. I've just shut off the air conditioning, and I'm gonna open up the ceramic heater. This is the larger version of a smaller heater I have in here too. It's a small white one. I've never opened this. It still has the seal, but this is what I was told online would be a good thing for the interior heat. It's an electric heater and it spins around, so it should pretty evenly do it. When I was traveling, I had a dog, so I wanted to make sure that she was warm as I was too. So, opening this up. All these should be fairly power efficient, so you shouldn't need to worry too much about the battery going off. Gonna unplug that. Undo. And then right back here, there's a small surge protector I'll show you. So just because I haven't shown you before, here's the AC working. And then down there, right back, I have a small surge protector that I run everything on this side. And on the other side, I have an identical setup. I'm gonna plug in that electric heater and unplug, first powered off. I'll unplug the AC and let's see if this heater works. You should turn it to plus for hot, and then I'll put it in mode 2. Make sure I peel the plastic off. That looks great. It has a fan, red light, and I already feel a decent amount of heat coming off of there. So now I believe if I put on mode 2, there it goes. The heater should spin right around. It's just gonna sway like that. And that already is working absolute wonders in here. I will probably have this for whoever comes to see this bus in person, as we're currently in December. So this is an absolute must if you're ever somewhere very, very cold. Back here, I'll show you the gate, which is what accesses all your storage and all that. So there's your AC. The gate works on this little deadbolt system. You latch up, pull out, and then this slides right out. And you can see straight back into all your storage. Further back there, there's the solar on your right. And then on the left, you can see I store a small microwave, emergency supplies, and things like that around where the AC ventilation goes. That's about it for the essentials. And then now I'll show you how the bed and other stuff like that works. Now I'm at the couch bed. So what you do here, very easy to convert. You just grab right under, pick up, and then you pull out. And now you have a bed. It's very clean leather. There's a few spots here from when I was working on it, but you can push right in, and it is a very, very comfortable couch. Then to put it back up, you do the opposite. You pick right up here, goes way up like that. Sometimes you need to grab the back too, and it goes right back in. Easier to do with 2 people, but very doable to do with 1. Staying back here by the AC and heater, I have a small water tank with a mechanical pump, which I use for fresh water if it's not available, or if you're staying at a campsite with one of those hand crank pumps. I like to filter it to make sure everything's okay. And then next to that, I have my small fridge and freezer combo, which if you open up, I have not cleaned out yet, but the fridge side is right here, and the smaller side up there is a freezer. It can fit ice cream in it, and it's pretty good for almost anything you need. I don't have a lot to show the depth of it really, but there is a 2-liter bottle in there, and it shows you how much is there. I apologize for the mess, but it is fairly large, so it's worked for everything I've needed. Then next to that, you have the 28-inch Samsung monitor, which is great for video games or if you want to connect a computer to it. And below that, I keep all my dishes, games, and important stuff in another deadbolt lockable thing. I have a computer keyboard in there now, and then the bottom is reserved for dishes, knives, and any kind of stuff that you use for cooking. But in here, I have a Nintendo Switch, some games, and things like that. It goes as deep as the wall there, so I believe that's something like maybe 30 inches or so. But looks very pretty and is very, very functional. Moving up now towards the front of the bus, I have what I like to call our bread box. It's the same stained wood you see before, it's just a little bit darker, and it's at an incline, so stuff like potato chips, bread, and any small storage items you can keep in there. I also use netting that's typically in a motorcycle. You can attach to right here, and it'll keep everything from sliding out while you're driving. Then lastly, you just kind of have the driver's seat and all that stuff. Everything still works up here, including the fan, which is good for hot or cold. It just circulates the air a little better. Heat and then a cold fan work while you're driving. It does not have air conditioning. It just blows whatever air is outside you in. But you can regulate the speed. It does have a, the thing to warm up your dash and things like that. So, it's a solid bus. I hope you like it. Stepping out of the bus and off of the gimbal, I wanted to show here that there's a decent amount of tread on these front tires. And then back there, there is almost no rust at all. Trying to show, here is painted. The paint will wear a little bit, just as it's getting hit with road debris. But up front, I'll try and put it in manual focus. There's a little bit of surface rust, but it's not that deep at all. Moving back into here, the same is true. There's about average wear and tear, I'd say. You can see the dual tires here. And then back there. Some of that there is the gap and crack to insulate it. I insulated all where the screws used to be for the original seats. So there is some residue there, but that will not hurt you at all. Under there, it is almost entirely rust-free. I know this bus was in Georgia for a few years, but it used to be in Virginia. So, that was a big thing I looked for when purchasing it. The other side, too. You can see right under there that there is not a lot of rust on this bus. I'll move up front to do the same, under where the engine is and stuff. There's once again a little bit of surface rust, but nothing stopped it from working, and works pretty well. I hope you like the bus and you've enjoyed this tour, and I hope to hear from you soon.